Alright, so I just completed this video, but I just want to throw this little edit in there before I start it, or before it kicks into the main portion of the video. One of the biggest reasons I'm doing these videos is, and a lot of these videos are going to be deep, because I got a lot of shit going through my head, and I think the more that I talk about it, I'm hoping that it'll start subsiding. But I feel that, if I'm going through something, the chances are there's thousands and thousands and thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or maybe even a lot higher, of other people that are going through something similar. And a lot of people won't talk about it. A lot of people won't, they'll keep it within them. Now, one of my biggest things is that I'm very open with everything. I admit my mistakes, I admit my flaws, my vices, when I'm wrong. But I also will call people out on bullshit, and when they do shit. But like I said, again, my whole purpose to every one of these videos is to touch somebody else, in the sense of hoping that they may learn from my experiences, or any mistakes that I may bring or mention on my videos. So that, again, is my whole intention with these videos. It's just to, and I'm gonna say this more than once. Hopefully, it'll be in the daylight. But yeah, that's my whole intentions with these videos. Is that if I always say, if I'm going through something, there's multiple thousands of people out there that are going through something similar, and it may not be the same exact thing, but so that is why I'm going to be doing these. And it's my sole intention to give back. I want to work in the field where I'm giving back, but it's also my intention is to give back to a worldwide community through these. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed the video. There's a lot of talk about my mom and stuff like that. So with that, take you right into the video. Hey, so it is Sunday night. It's a little after 10 o'clock, and it's November 3rd, 2024. And as you can see, I'm actually chilled. It's actually 10:03, and the current temperature is 40 degrees. But I don't know. When you get the warm days and then all of a sudden you get chilly days, it makes it worse than what it is. But I figured now would be better, as good a time as any to do the video. I know normally I do them in the daylight, but I'm going to do dark this time. Actually set up the iPad on a chair, and I'm near my vestibule, so I have light. So at least we get some green behind me. So anyways, in this video I'm going to talk about like the last few weeks. That's, things have gone on. So it was 3 Saturdays ago. Actually, it would be the day after I did my original long last talking video. And I think that was a Friday, and then that Saturday I started to do a video. And anyways, so my mom woke up, I want to say about 8 o'clock that day, whatever, I'm not sure what. But she didn't really wake up. She just came out and said that she didn't sleep all night. And I mean, that's not common for her. Lady takes enough sleep and stuff that but I think that's the problem, is she blends too many things together. So anyway, she came out, she was fine. Day before, she was fine. So she ended up saying that she didn't sleep all night, so she was going to go back and lay down and see if she could go to sleep. And so she I want to say about 3-4 hours later, she came back out, was completely out of it. um I did not know, what was going on. She just said she didn't feel good. She wasn't like, she was making some sense, but at the same time, as the day went on, she started getting worse with the confusion. And I think it was around 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock that night. Um, I tried to get her to go to the hospital. Now, mind you, I don't have a car, so she would have to go by ambulance. Which the car thing is going to be it's driving me crazy. But anyways, again, it was a lot of bad choices. Um, she said no. She said she didn't want to go. So she spent most of the night in her room, and then she around probably 11:30 that night. She kept going in and out of her room, and she would kept calling for me, and then I think it was like 2:30ish in the morning, Saturday into Sunday. I was like, at that point, apparently, she must have been walking around in her room and was knocking things over in the dark because she was trying to get out of the room. And so finally, I was like, "That's it." I told her I was calling, 911 and calling an ambulance, and so they came, and they were really nice. And at that point, I didn't know if she was suffering a stroke or was a UTI. In the end, according to the most of the tests that she had done, it's pretty much a UTI. But she so at first she didn't know. Again, she didn't know what was going on. Now, this had happened previously before, other years. Generally, it seems to happen in the fall time. I don't know why, but with the UTIs. And now, mind you, my mom's gonna be 90 on November 15th. So it's been last so many years been a rocky road. Especially after my dad died. But the last few have been more, I guess, a mental, decline. So, anyways, they came, and like I said, I had been told previously by paramedics that have come out that if the person is not willing to go, that they can't force them to go. Now, these ones told me, because I had told them I tried to get her to go around 5:30, 6 o'clock that earlier that day, and they told me that if the person is confused and not able to make that decision for themselves, that they can take them. Well, they got to get on the same page. And I commend them guys, but at the same time, then you have other ones that are telling me that they can't take them. So that's a whole nother, they have to get on the same page. So they even mentioned something about like stroke symptoms and everything, but she wasn't able to really talk either. So it was worse than I had ever seen it. So so they took her to hospital. It was weird because they brought her out at like I said, they put her in an ambulance. Then the ambulance sat there for like maybe 20-25 minutes, and I've never seen that before. So I'm kind of like walking down and kind of like looking in to make sure everything's all right. And apparently, I think they were running her blood tests and everything through there, and getting everything, I guess, up to what they needed to do so that stuff was ready by the time she got to the hospital. So she ended up, they took her to the closest hospital And I'm not going to use names of places because this hospital really needs to be closed down. When I was working at the one place, I had to deal with this hospital multiple times, and this hospital is the most asinine hospital I've ever seen in my life. So those who know me will know which one I'm talking about. It's a 3-letter initial for it. But, so she ended up getting admitted, which I had a feeling that was going to happen. And I kept the phone near me, so, because I ended up falling asleep. And so she got admitted. And then, I was using my brother's car to go up and, back and forth to go see her and all. And that Wednesday was actually the first day that she had showed somewhat of improvement. Not, she was talking more, and she was making a little more sense, with things that she was saying. And then Thursday I went up to see her, and she took a step back. And, and then I talked to somebody Thursday, afternoon, at the hospital on the phone. And they said that they were not going to release her until the UTI was cleared and they were able to pull the catheter to make sure she was able to go on her own. So again, that Thursday, she took a step back. Friday, she took another step back, but they discharged her. And it was almost like when I went up to get her, it was almost like they were rushing us out of there. And, at that point, I was just like, it is what it is, and I'm not going to deal with the bullshit that they're, that's going on. So I ended up bringing her home, and she was in no better shape. Again, like I said, she took 2 steps back from that Wednesday. A step back Thursday, another step back that Friday. So then I was going up to get her medicine filled on that Saturday that the hospital prescribed. And the nurses that were going to come out, she was not better. I mean, she was literally going in and out of her room, and then she was staying in her room. She wasn't eating. She wasn't doing anything. I was like, she's going to end up back in there. And so one of the head of the nurses or whatever ended up calling me as I was just about to walk into the pharmacy. And I had already, given the pharmacist, the scripts and all. So, she, talked to the lady, and I said, look, she should have never been discharged. I said, she's not any better than what she was. In fact, I explained the whole thing to her. She was better for Wednesday, which was the only day, and then she went 2 steps back, blah, blah, blah. And she said that the best bet would be to, because if they came out the next day to, evaluate her and get everything set up, that she would they would probably only recommend that she goes back to the hospital. So I wasn't sending her back to that hospital. So I ended up having her go by ambulance again to the hospital that's the furthest away. In this area, there's 3 hospitals near us. There's one near the mall. There's the asinine one that's the closest. And then there's, which I think is, to me, it's the nicest of the 3. It's obviously in the nicest area. And to me, it's just, it's the best, hospital. Me personally, I mean, everybody has their own preference. Some people prefer the asinine one, but I don't know why. So anyway, she got admitted up there, and she was in there for, she was in the asinine one from Saturday to Friday, and then the other one from that Saturday to the following Monday, and then that's where she's currently at, to where she went to the rehab. She had been in that rehab before. She had fallen and broken her hip, and actually that's when my dad passed away, was when she was in there for that. That was back, he passed away June 12th, 2016. But you could see a world of difference between the hospitals. Like, the second one she was in was so much more thorough and were on top of their game that they actually had to pull strings and do things to get her to get into the rehab because she wasn't showing any initiative to wanting to do physical therapy while she was there. And being a hospital, they have so many people that they have to work with, that patient wise, that they couldn't do the physical therapy with her every single day. So she was showing no initiative or anything, and she was set to be discharged that Friday. The Friday before she went in Monday to the rehab. So she ended up, I talked to the lady and I said, look, if she comes home, I can't handle her on my own, and I really don't have no other help. That's another story. Not going to, throw people under the bus, but some people live their lives in denial, and I do, as much as I hate it, I do look at things realistically. But a lot of people don't believe or want to hear what I have to say about things. And that's just in general. It's going places I've worked at, it's going different places, and, people close and within too. So the lady wanted me to come up there that Saturday to see if me being up there would help her want to do the physical therapy and make it easier. And I had no way of getting up there, and this really sucks, not having transportation. So I told her, they understood. I mean, they understood everything. She was very, very nice, and I have nothing but good things to say about every single person we pretty much associated with in that hospital. Now, yes, other members, they'll say something different, but she tried to set it up to where my siblings went up with me, and she was just saying all kinds of stuff that just did not make sense. She was mentioning people on her, it would be my aunt on her side's family, and she was like thinking that like people in the hospital, and there were physical people there, but she was thinking that they were relatives of ours, and it was just not her. So she ended up fighting the physical therapy at first, but then she ended up doing a little bit, so they were able to jot that down. And also on that Friday, with everything that was going on, the caseworker was out, or social worker, whatever she is, had her discharge removed, so that bought us some time. So so she was able to do what she had to do, and I want to say it was that Monday. I'm pretty sure it was that Monday that I got a phone call and said that they told me that she got approved to go into the rehab. So got people going around all over at times in my section. So apparently she has been doing some of the stuff that she needs to do in there. But the confusion, and I hate to say it, but at this point, and they even, they said it too, the rehab, that because the UTI is cleared and everything, and because of her, her age and all, any confusion that she has, if it was to improve, it wouldn't be much. So when she comes home, she's definitely going to be a totally different person than from that Friday before this all started, until, and all prior to that. Because she just doesn't, they just like come out of left field, and they're not making one bit of sense. And again, I'm looking at it realistically and trying to make other people realize that this is good. My daughter's on board. She gets it, and it's just sad because of the way everything went down. I mean, it just like happened so fast. It was like she was fine Friday. She woke up that Saturday. Cat's looking at me sitting at the thing. She woke up that Saturday morning, said that she couldn't sleep. She was going to go lay back down. And then 3-4 hours, maybe give or take, she wakes up, it's completely gone. So that's why I said I never saw anything happen the way that it did. This is why I like to try to do the video without having to stop it. But I saw my daughter come down. I wasn't sure if she was going to be coming out or not. So I just wanted to kind of cut it off there. But yeah, so it just all happened so fast. And it was like, it's heartbreaking. But it's given me a whole new perspective on things, I guess. And it's like, that's all I can really say at this point right now. But today I did take up we had the Philly Fanatic Stuffy, and he always sits out during the baseball season, and he was still out, when all this started happening, and so I took that up to her today, and you could see it made, she smiled, and that's what I mean. Some things she's still spot on, but other things it's like you don't know where her mindset is. And at this point, I don't think she does or anybody does. She does ask about her cat a lot, and it's kind of sad because she, at one point, in her mind, thought that the kitten had passed on. And she said to me that one day, she's like, "So I hear that kitten is no longer with us." So I was taking pictures of them and videos and stuff and showing them to her. So, now that's out of her, so now she knows that, he's around. Another one was that today she thought I was living in Florida and I made it my way up here, to see her. But then she said that she thought she was living in Florida, and it's just, that's what I mean. And it's just, unfortunately, I think that that's the direction that it's going in now. And, it's sad when you see somebody. I mean, you could see times. I mean, even I go through it where, like, I'll be looking for my phone. It's in my hand, or, just stupid shit. But you could see, I mean, at times where, like, she would always ask me, what's the last name of the Phillies player? And then the next game, she would ask me the same question. And then finally I told her, write it down so that way she can go back and look on it, because that's what she used to do. So, I mean, I've kind of, like, accepted the situation for what it is. And when she would go on, like, her confusion things, I kind of just went along with it. Like, some of them I would ask, like, why does she think that, or where did that come from? But at the same time, she can't hear either half the time, so it makes it much more difficult to even try to communicate in that sense too. And we were typing stuff and putting it in large letters, and it was making it to where we would let her read it. But I start, when I was doing that last couple of times before today, I would ask her questions, but then she thought I was saying it about myself. So, that's, so I didn't do it today. I did it with one thing. I forget what it was, and she did it again. She thought I was saying that. I asked her if she had, how was she sleeping? And she says she thought that I said that in the thing, she thought that I said that I was going to sleep or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, I really don't know. My vibes, and usually my vibes and my gut are pretty much spot on. And, some people are thinking maybe she won't come home. She'll end up staying in there. But then that's gonna that'll create a lot of other problems. And it's not that I don't want her to live in there either. So I mean, my vibes are telling me, and my gut's telling me that she's gonna come home, but there's gonna have to be things set up in the house, and kind of go from there. She's been in bed for the 2 weeks at the time before she went to the hospital or to the rehab. She's weak. She couldn't really walk. She wasn't eating. They had to put her on a puree diet, which stuff looks I'm sure it's all right because it's just the food grounded up or whatever, but I'd rather eat the solid stuff. But you have to do what you have to do. But I feel comfortable with the social worker up there, and I explained the whole situation that I'm a single parent. I'm trying to find work, especially with everything. It's damn. Why do I keep doing this? I keep knocking my cherry off my cigarette. So yeah, but I explained everything, and she gets it. And I do still want to follow the path that I was on of getting into the help or the mental health field. But shit, while I was up there, I'm looking at the patients walking around and doing whatever. I thought about maybe, at least, even if it's just temporary, maybe putting in applications at them kind of places. And just kind of go from there. Again, my goal is I just want to be able to give back, to the community, to people, and just be able to help people. And that's why I said seeing her like this has put a lot of things into a different perspective than what I had seen before. And it just, I don't know any other way of saying it other than that it's heartbreaking when you see somebody who is declining kind of like right before your eyes. I mean, I'm not saying that it could be next week. It could be, I'm hoping she's got, good amount more years in her. But at the same time, I definitely have to start preparing, for a lot of my future and all, especially with my daughter. And, I got to start thinking about the after here, and here. So I got to get my ass into gear. Plus Christmas is coming up. I want to have, be able to get branded some stuff, for Christmas. So again, I am going to be doing a video at some point on this year. And it's just been, some of these videos are going to be deep. And some of them are going to be like what they were, 3 weeks ago. But just gotta, I get it. Everybody tries to tell me, oh, you gotta push forward, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But it's, when your mind is as fucked up as it is, as mine is, it's hard to see the things that you gotta do. Even though I have a lot of good self-awareness, it comes back to, I don't see it at the time. And this whole weekend I did, when you sleep, you don't think. And yesterday I was going to go up there. I ended up falling asleep because I was just like, your brain gets tired. Your mind gets tired, and it gets tired of thinking. So I pushed it back to today, and I ended up falling asleep today. But I spent a good portion of this weekend sleeping, and I didn't get anything really done that I wanted to get done, but I did get up there today. So that was definitely, a plus. But like I said, I've gotten to the point where a lot of times I'll go to sleep so I don't have to think. And again, I'm going to have to start doing more and more and more videos like this. And I know it can seem kind of morbid or, depressing, but it's what's going on in my mind. And, I gotta start focusing on the things that to go forward, but maybe I need to hear them on here to be able to do that. So, like, kind of the next couple of videos rehash the lad this year and the car situation, and then kind of leave it at that and not mention it anymore, and then start doing the things I need to do to start going forward, because it sits inside of you, and it just starts eating away at you, and you really don't know which way to turn, because every single thing that you've tried ends up failing. And sometimes you feel like you're chasing a ghost, and I feel like the last 8 years I've been chasing a ghost, mistake after mistake, or doing things and then something getting in the way. So it's almost like every which way you turn, you hit a roadblock or you hit a wall. And that's been the story of the last 8+ years, ever since my dad is ever since he passed. And, some of it's my own doings, and a lot of it, some of it isn't. So it's just, I'm very superstitious, and I'm Irish and German, so I guess it's the Irish in me, but I always feel like, I've gotten to the point where you hit so many roadblocks or walls that you feel like you're cursed. I'm joking when I say that, but like I said, as the videos go on, you'll start understanding more and more, not how my mind thinks, but a lot of the shit that I've gone through, and that's gotten me to the point that I'm at in my life right now. Here I'm waiting for them to freaking repossess my car, and they're not even taking it. When I didn't want them to repossess it, they were showing up. So it's back asswards, and it's just, it is what it is. But this was this is gonna be mainly my mom's, video about this past few weeks. So the only thing I can do is just continue to go to the groups that I'm going to, and continue to talk about it, whether it's on here or, with my therapist or the groups or whatever, and just kind of, go from there and try to get on track and start going forward and don't look back. It's easier said than done. And the one thing I will say is that I'm going to put that in the beginning of the video, because I have to edit it anyway. So I'm sure there's pretty much other things that I probably forgot, but I might mention in future videos, about this situation. But I think I pretty much covered all the bases and all. But I'm hoping maybe in the next video I'll do it in the daytime. But at this point, I just got to kick them out when I can kick them out. I can't wait for the perfect setting or, whatever. But with that, I will cut it off there, and gonna add that what I was gonna say a little bit ago in the beginning, so that way before I forget it, because that's the other thing. I gotta start jotting things down, because if I don't jot them down, I'll forget them. Ask me everything about the 80s, I can tell you. I'm joking, but I probably could. I could tell you more about the 80s than I could a half hour ago or a day ago or 2 days ago. But anyways, I'm going to cut it off there. And it's going to probably, looks like it's going to be about a 30-minute or so video. So I'll probably get it on tonight. So that way I don't have to worry about it in the morning, because actually I have it on my feeder iPad. So I definitely have to get it on there. But see, the more I'm talking, I already forgot what I was going to say on that, on that one part. But anyways, I'm going to cut it off there, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.